Morning, everybody. Welcome back. Kevin here from Watch This with Joe and Kevin. Mine is Joe. Season 5 of the second season of The Sopranos. We took a bit of a break in the last episode for a really great episode, I thought, by the way, for three of the guys to go to Italy, and we kind of followed around Italy. HBO probably spent a whole lot of money on that, so I'm assuming at some point we're getting a bottle episode to compensate for the budget that was probably massive on that last episode. The things that kind of stood out to me on that episode were one, um, all three of the guys that went, it was supposed to be like a trip of a lifetime, and none of them actually enjoyed themselves. Um, None of them did what they thought they were going to do. Only one of them really tried. Paulie really tried to get out and embrace the culture and everything, but he just wasn't at home. He didn't fit in. Nobody seemed to like or respect him while he was there. He was just very American in Italy. So as much as he likes to fancy himself an Italian, he very much let his American side, his Americanness show, and not in a great way. Same with Christopher. He had big plans to kind of tour it up while he was there, meet some girls, and go see the volcano. And instead, just was high the entire time, which is pretty on brand for Christopher. And then Tony was just completely miserable anyway because his trip was purely a business trip that really kind of went his way by the end, but not really. Um, and he was miserable. The other thing that I really loved about it was, I know it was such a small thing that people probably forget, but that opening scene that shows the family in the SUV getting carjacked, and then later, those are the, like, what does that have to do with anything? Well, these are the cars that Tony is buying and flipping um, in Italy. Or actually, yeah, was it in Italy they were going to be sold? I'm not sure. But to Italians anyway, were the ones that were going to import the cars. That might have been being sold in Germany. Why am I thinking Germany for some reason? Anyway, regardless, I'm really glad that we showed that family to show that there's actually victims to these crimes. There's always a romanticizing of mob life and criminal life in a lot of these shows and movies, especially when you deal with like old school mafia stuff. And I feel like a lot of the times we just don't show the fact that there are actual casualties. There are innocent victims in what they do, right? The Godfather, the first two Godfather movies are two of my favorite movies ever, but we really don't show victims, right? In terms of innocent victims, anyway. Yeah, people die, but it's people in the life. We don't see that they're actual victims of crime. Like, these aren't victimless crimes and all good fun and make money how you can make your money crap. Right, they're actual victims, and I really, really like that. It's one of the things I loved about Goodfellas. Right, ironically, Spider Christopher, the actor, we kind of get to see that in Goodfellas as well. So I'm really glad that was there, so that the showrunner, and the show itself isn't hiding from the fact that no, this isn't all fun and games. There are actual innocent people that suffer from this kind of stuff. We'll go and jump into it here. I would like to thank all of our Patreon subscribers for being here with us, and would like to give a special shout out to Actuarial Lurker, Balas Foldes, Chris, Jeff, Christy Goverston, NJ, Surya Gundavarapu, and Weird Magic. Thanks so much, guys. Really happy here with us. If you are watching this for the first time, welcome to our channel. If you'd like to see a full-length reaction to this and everything else we've watched or watching, please check out a link in the description below to our Patreon page. On every show we're watching, including The Sopranos, we are at least 4 episodes ahead on Patreon of where on YouTube. So if you get done watching the YouTube edits and would like to keep going, you can do it on our Patreon page. You will have to sync and watch along on your own source material. You're only going to see and hear us for copyright purposes. We're also watching 30 Rock as a Patreon exclusive. We didn't get David Proval at all in the last episode, and I was really excited about his emergence. Obviously, we took the episode off to be overseas. Hopefully, he's back. Apparently, some people on Patreon told me that David Chase was one of the guys at the diner that was kind of blowing off Paulie. I love when that kind of stuff happens. Was that Robert Patrick?
How's it going, buddy?
No, it's not. It just looks like him.
Good.
You got money for blow, but not. You got money for blow.
Don't rip off the mob.
You know what you need here? Top-notch mozzarella maker, like that kid from the other side.
Yeah, real mozzarella is made out of buffalo milk, right?
You know what? Either do me the favor or not. Third grade on up. You needed something. I was there, no questions.
I love how the poor guy just doesn't have any agency when it comes to this stuff. It's really too bad for Artie.
This is acting for writers?
And your first assignment is to act like a writer who gets here on time.
Sorry, tunnel.
This is really sweet.
BA in English Lit from Ithaca. I've written a few specs. Haven't actually sold anything yet. Right now, I'm on the sales team down at Chick Broward, Porsche Audi.
What are you going to say about yourself, Christopher? I'm in the waste disposal stock market business.
I had some problems with my screenplay, so I bought that book, How to Write a Movie in 21 Days. That was like a year ago.
That's funny.
Need you to head out to Newark for me. Airport? Alitalia. Friend of ours is coming in.
Oh, that's right. The guy.
It was a downpour. He couldn't see anything. It was impossible.
Where are you in the dream?
Oh, right. The car accident. The Wizard of Oz.
That song from The Wizard of Oz is playing.
Over the rainbow.
No, that other one.
We're out of the dark. We're out of the woods. We're out of the...
He goes into a full-blown panic attack and he passes out.
But this is where, like, the witch dies. Is this like she's in the clear because he's gone?
Road ahead suggests my abandoning him.
Who in Wizard would your patient be?
Witch.
Given the fact that he's a powerful, dominating male. Oz himself?
No. It's when the witch dies.
Why do we love roller coasters, Jennifer? Scary movies?
Get to feel the rush of being scared. Yeah, without threat.
Great film, but some terrifying moments.
It's true.
Treating a mobster provides you some vicarious thrill.
It wasn't exactly vicarious.
That's true. She was threatened.
Who's this? She's not here right now. It's her brother.
Oh, it's for Janice.
No.
Get dressed. You're late for school.
Yeah, that's my mother's house.
What's up with Anthony Jr. there? He looks guilty.
Bitch.
What's the matter?
It's a bank. She's trying to take out a loan on my mother's house.
I think it was Anthony Jr. Why does he look so guilty? It can't be him. He's a little kid. He wouldn't know how to do that. Never mind.
Forgot to tell you, I got a job at Radio Shack. Product testing. Giving that phone an F for durability.
Maybe he's just scared because his dad is acting like a freak again. But I feel like there's something going on.
Janice, it's me. Open the door.
Oh, no.
Where's my sister?
The store. I'm making breakfast. You want some eggs?
Oh, no. This is bad.
I thought a lot about her.
10 years. You thought about Janice? There are men in the camp better looking at my sister. I hope you're not thinking about moving in here.
God, this is bad.
I thought that was
Where do you get the balls to take out a loan on this house?
What?
You heard me.
Oh, she did do it.
I'll take care of the loan. Don't worry about it. I'll give you the money.
Oh, look at this.
Oh, just Tony, let it go.
Your wife's getting a ticket.
Maybe I can
Oh.
change your mind.
This guy.
Whoa, what are you doing? You're dropping your oranges.
For next time, Phil and Joanne, scene 2, barefoot in the park.
Oh, Neil Simon.
The Glass Menagerie. Chris, you are the gentleman caller, okay?
Ooh, this will be tense. That Tennessee Williams? No. It's the Glass Menagerie.
Who's the zip anyway?
He's a friend of ours. Talk later.
And Sal's going to rat him out to... God, I can't remember the Fed's name. Joey, maybe?
What's the matter?
No.
You're not going to tell her? Tell her. She's going to find out. Don't make it a surprise.
Tell him what your favorite TV program is.
Che lo show mi piace assai. The PD Blue.
Garden State's a freaking...
NYPD Blue.
It's on vacation?
Yeah, he saw a travel poster for sunny New Jersey.
You know what? Leave it alone.
Sure.
Yeah.
I wonder what he's going to do. Can Furio take care of it?
What do you want?
I brought some cookies. Pinoles.
I like the fact that Carmela doesn't even hide the fact that she's not letting the stuff go. I'm completely with her. Everyone's playing nice when there was an attempted murder.
That's what they call it, when someone low rates himself. For instance, That clumping. You thought was so awful in high school.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
This is Jericho, cell leader of the SOS. Let it be known from this day forth that lawlessness will not be tolerated.
It's really meta. I love that. Joe Pesci shot him in the foot.
I told you Danny was good for whatever.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, at the steakhouse.
Oh, yeah.
Be within a few
yeah.
minutes.
Since I'm here,
The real reason for the visit.
You got a lot on your mind.
because I'm the boss.
You need to talk to a therapist, man. He can't, but...
Just like your father.
What is?
Not the same thing.
My old man had anxiety attacks?
Well, in those days, we called it a condition.
Oh my God. This is important.
Listening to a tape of a parent criticizing, I'm talking about an adult, mind you, their fear center kicks right in. You can actually see it in an MRI.
Yeah.
It's my scene. Gentleman caller guy. It's not me.
It's not supposed to be.
Yeah.
He said if I don't like to fight, I should find myself a Russian.
Oh, boy. Calm down, Tony. Come on.
Here. Now you're fucking involved, okay?
He's the boss, right?
Do something.
You want to be involved? Now you're involved.
Come on, man. Yeah, get yourself under control, man.
Why do you always have to ruin everything? Huh?
That's a fair question. He did.
Friggin' look at it and get hauled in. I would have played great with Uncle Junior and everybody else.
Poor Hesh is having to be his stand-in therapist here.
I was never particularly good with my fists, but there was one guy who almost drove me to murder.
He definitely needs to talk to someone real.
Very good, Omar. And just say scene when you're done, okay?
And scene.
Hey, jerkpot. What'd you do that for?
You can't help it, son. You did everything a man could.
Gotta give credit to good actors who can act badly like this. It's hard to do.
Trust me. Whatever comes, we'll face it together. It's okay, Jim. Stand up. I'll stand up with you.
Actually, Christopher's doing pretty well here. This is actually really vulnerable for Christopher.
Scene.
Unfreaking believable. God, you were really good.
He's really struggling with it. He went there. That's how he did it. He went there.
You want to watch your ashes, please?
Oh, God, I didn't notice he was smoking over it.
Puss, want to give us a minute?
Like the fact, but it's smart that they're not letting him on everything.
Keep this warm. Thank you. 5 minutes. All right?
Yeah, get lost. I mean, I can say that because I know he's a rat.
Ellie and I abandoned him.
We've been over this. Your life is in danger.
Yeah.
Do you realize what I did last week? I stormed out of here like a child.
Like he did, yeah.
Mentioned you've put on a little weight lately.
Yeah.
Do you think the overeating has anything to do with your patient?
Yeah, I want to know. We haven't gotten a lot from him this season.
I think seeing him again will be very therapeutic for me.
It's not supposed to be therapeutic for you. This is your therapy here.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. It's supposed to be his therapy.
Do you have sexual feelings for him?
Well, I thought the answer was always a hard no, but...
No.
Okay, there's a lot of hesitation there.
He can be such a little boy sometimes.
Oh,
That's
okay.
it, the one with the palm tree.
Oh, okay, so he told Christopher to back off this guy so that Furio could take care of it. This is Furio's first test.
May I help you?
Oh my God! Nice reminder that Tony really is a monster. Well, he just sits there and smokes a cigar.
Yeah,
It's Dr. Melfi.
get by without it.
You know you're not.
Mitch, Christopher, you want to give it a try? Hey, come on, Chris.
Your girlfriend's good. That's funny.
Hey,
What are you doing?
My God, sorry.
I think it's broken.
I don't feel bad for you.
Maybe doing that scene brought up some bad feelings.
What scene?
You know, where he was supposed to be your father? You said the class all clapped and everything.
I guess we haven't talked about it yet.
Your whole thing with script writing, who else is behind you? Who even knows about it?
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, Jan, I'm sorry.
He might need therapy more than Tony does. Oh, I'm glad he's there. Let the pride thing go a little bit. This is going to be a petulant child about it, though.
Are you still taking your medication?
Off and on.
Well, you should either take it or don't take it, okay? In the coffee shop, you mentioned that you had a panic attack that led to an automobile accident.
Yeah.
That seems like years ago.
You're so busy? Or you mean that you're angry with me for not agreeing to treat you then?
Both.
Found out a little medical history. My old man had the same thing.
Yeah, this is good.
What is it you want to achieve here?
What do I want to achieve? I want to stop passing out.
How about losing your temper stupidly, too?
You know who I am, and you know what I do. You called me. You know where I was yesterday when you called?
Is he going to be on it? Okay, so Christopher's actually going to try to write after that revelation. I mean, maybe. Or he's smoking. Looks like he's going to write. You bark, I bite. It is a terrible title. Okay, never mind. He's just throwing stuff out. Is he starting over? Good to see somebody give up on something they're passionate about, even though Christopher is a complete train wreck. Okay, yet again, kind of like I mentioned in the last episode, we kind of saw the ugly side of Tony's business. Yeah, there was another criminal. Yeah, they're bad people. But it was pure brutality. Tony was kind of laughing off the pure brutality of it. And it's nice that the show does remind us he's actually not a good guy. He's our protagonist, but he's not a hero. I feel like, Mad Men, which I consider one of my favorite shows of all time, almost done with it. Kind of did the same thing with Don, right? Don's a protagonist. He's the guy you root for. But there's no way, if you're being completely honest, if there aren't times you're like, oh, yeah, right, this guy's just awful. And as awful as Don is, he's nowhere near as bad as Tony. Don's not a violent guy out to, destroy lives or hurt people. And Tony, granted, this is the world he grew up in. The thing, we're finding out, just the extent to what he's to which he's inherited things from his father. Even the anxiety attacks, it seems to be possibly have a genetic connection that they're not really talking about. He wanted to talk about it. Kind of surprised Melfi wasn't along on the idea that it might be there might be a genetic component to it, since his dad suffered from it, or the lifestyle is just, that has something to do with it. But Tony, I'm really glad. Obviously, the therapy aspect of it that was so prominent in season one, I really didn't want to lose moving forward with the show. It would have made sense narratively if they did, simply by the way everything ended with Dr. Melfi. I'm glad that they're back to doing this. I find this to be a component of the show that is pretty essential to the journey of the character and the message of the show. So I'm really glad that she's back, and that it looks like we're going to continue with this, right? Not just the medication, but Tony trying to understand why he is the complex, broken person that he is. And we're seeing it with other characters as well, and it kind of makes sense in the life that they're living. I mean, right? You decide to live outside the socially accepted norms of a society. There's something going on there that helped you make that decision. Why you would choose that? And I'm really glad that it's not something the show shies away from. Glad we're getting back to it with the therapist. I didn't like the idea of Tony just trying to go it on his own now. The therapeutic sessions not only help Tony's arc, but it also kind of gives us a little bit of exposition look into who he is and why he is. It just shows how these are well-rounded characters and how well they're written and how well they're crafted. And it just gives another facet to what we get to see with Tony, right? A situation that we haven't seen for the first 5 episodes, really, of this season, where he's forced to be vulnerable and be introspective. And it's really great to have a show that covers this lifestyle, right? The mob movie, the mob television show has been done to death. But now we have a show where it's like, now you have to sort of face the consequences of what your decision making process is that leads you to this, that has you deciding to destroy a telephone in your house, right? Or assault a guy for very little, just because you're in a bad mood, right? The poor Russian guy on the boat. Yeah, he should have opened his mouth and said, "Be with a different man." That's going to upset a guy, especially a guy as toxically masculine as Tony. But man, did he take it too far by going over and attacking the guy? Way too far. Um, but I mean, I guess excess is what this lifestyle is all about, right? The guy and his wife that got beaten up there by Furio, he definitely deserved it. As far as consequences for not paying Tony what was clearly an agreed upon amount of money, not paying what he owed him. But how far was too far? And I don't know. Maybe it's because violence is inherently really awful in the real world, but that was too far. I feel like one guy that got beaten was a customer, just a guy that was there. The wife, I don't care if they think that she's part of the problem or not. And then, of course, beating him, breaking his arm, shooting him in the leg, and then smacking the wife around even more after that. I mean, it's like, God, at what point have you made your point? Have you got? Yeah, I get that you need to really coerce them that you're serious about the money, but maybe excessive violence isn't a good thing, even in this particular line of work. There's a you've made your point moment, and hopefully with Tony seeing Dr. Melfi again, he's going to start understanding that. But we'll see. I'm kind of curious what that's going to like moving forward, and I feel like Sal's arc in terms of being a government, a criminal informant for I'm assuming the FBI. If Skip was talking about an agent that used to work with him and now is in Kansas City, so that sounds very FBI to me. That's going to come to a head at some point. Either some people are going to go down because of what Sal says, or he's going to get caught, and then that's going to be the end of him. I guess we'll see moving forward. But we're coming up on halfway through the season, and I like the fact that there's not really much of a predictable arc, that everyone's just kind of going through it right now. Like even Dr. Melfi, like she wanted to get back to treating Tony because she's really kind of struggling with how they ended things right now. And I mean, she was crying at her own therapist. Really, really good character journeys thus far this season. All right, I will catch you in the next one, guys.